Attention, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. Nerd Radio is taking the country by storm.
This is Nerd Radio.
Well, it's nice that you're using somebody's voice on the show that's not me.
I recognize that.
I did. He's heard that before.
Yeah.
As you can tell by the sounder, you're listening to some Nerd Radio. We're all over your social media, Nerd Radio 101. Yeah. We're in Boston.
Yeah, rock929rocks.com.
And, of course, Wednesday afternoons, you can check us out live on twitch.tv/CheckpointXP. Hey, I almost had the whole thing.
Almost had it.
Chuck Bean, Al Beck, James back in the studio for 2020, talking about a bunch of Star Wars with a whole bunch of guests this week. This particular segment, we're sitting down with, from the Sound of and the Riff, Steve Black.
Formerly of the Sound of, anyway.
Well, yeah, and we're talking to a guy that you
at
do
Radio Life. At Radio Life.
This is Sound the way. Of whoops.
Yeah. We're talking to a guy whose voice you just heard, Mr. Joel Morgan.
Well, thank you, everyone, and all ships at sea. I'm happy to be talking about Star Wars today, and I've got a lot of comments, and I've made notes to read to you.
Please stay in character for this whole segment.
Oh, my God, that would be amazing. Joel already is a character for the show, man.
Old-timey Star Wars review.
Yep.
I love it.
Dude's always been
all right.
Joe, we got to get you set up with the YouTube
accept your
channel.
challenge, and I will rise to the occasion. I will Star Wars Rise of Skywalker to the occasion.
See, this is why we don't have guests very often, because when I just have Al and James to deal with, the show already goes off the rails. But once you add two more people, it's insanity.
Yeah. And we got a bit over here like, yeah, Joel, do the thing. Do the
Yeah.
thing.
All right, I'll do the thing one more time.
Al's just happy that I'm not yelling at him to dance monkey. He's like, finally, I can move down the ladder. I can
Look
tell
at that
Joel.
monkey dance.
I love it.
Okay, so we're talking about the Rise of
private monkey
Skywalker. Somewhat polarizing. Let's get just off the top. Steve Black, what did you think of the new Star Wars movie?
I approach all Star Wars movies the same way. They have very little science in their science fiction.
Sure.
Which annoys the piss out of me.
Okay.
However, I go in with that knowing that it's going to annoy me, and I still manage to have fun. So I would say it's a good movie. It's Star Wars.
Thank you very much. That's how I felt about it. Joel, what about you?
I did not like it. I was disappointed.
You were, yeah. I remember talking to you out of the theater. You'd brought up one particular thing that I won't spoil because it might be in your notes.
I will say, before we continue on the conversation, we've been doing a lot of comparing, like, well, Last Jedi we felt this way, and then Rise of Skywalker. So just kind of a thumbs up and thumbs down, Steve and Joel. Steve, Last Jedi.
Some of the worst science I've ever seen in my life. It injured me.
Okay, so it was definitely a bump up from Last Jedi for you,
Yes.
the new one.
4 bumps up.
4 bumps up. And Joel, what was your thought on
It was 2 bumps down, man.
the
It's
new,
2 bumps down.
The new one is
Yes.
bumps down from. You like Last Jedi better than the new.
I
Okay.
despise The Last Jedi.
Every time.
Okay, got it.
so it's like this would even work.
This is like the black hole. This put the Star Wars franchise
Wow.
like in the black hole.
So the new one was worse than a movie you hated.
I thought so.
Okay, I'm very excited for this.
thought so.
He gave me a little bit of a preview. He dropped by my office and kind of gave me a rundown. And he's like, I don't know if I can make it for the show tomorrow. I was like, I really hope you can.
I rearranged my life to be here.
And we thank you for it.
Absolutely, we appreciate
You
it.
missing out on like City of the Week?
Dude, City of the Space, man.
Okay.
City of the Galaxy.
That's right.
This
City of the
City
Week
of the
is
Week is
Tatooine.
Los Isleys.
Yes.
Nice.
So give us some highlights, Joel. What were some of the things that
highlights?
you absolutely did not like about this particular movie?
Should this be like in somewhat chronological order?
It doesn't have to be.
Start with what you hate the most.
Yeah, what was the thing that you were most
It's
upset
a
about?
reminder to
All right,
listeners
I'll
that
tell
this
you
is
the
a spoiler
climax,
heavy.
The whole wrapping it up, the whole climax of the trilogy, where Rey returns to Tatooine, a place Leia never was, a place Luke despised, a crime scene that the last we saw, it was 2 smoking skeletons.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Somebody must have cleaned up.
Why do we want to go back? Like, and like, hasn't Rey had enough of desert planets?
You make some solid points.
Oh, but wait, I'm still rolling on this. All right, Tatooine, known for sand.
Yep.
Sand people, a few Jawas, right?
Banther too.
Okay, but not like they were putting Skywalker Estates in, right? The new subdivision next to Luke's, right? What is Grandma Space Desert walking by? Not even on a speeder or a vehicle.
She had like that weird camel thing.
I didn't even notice it. I was just because I was the only one that saw it the first time. But like, what is she doing? Like, oh, I'm just like here, and I'm your neighbor in space.
She's out for a walk.
Are you having a garage sale?
It's not like there's malls on Tatooine. She's
like
out for a
anything.
walk.
Like there's small side. Like, dude, there wasn't people. Neighbors just don't walk by.
She's out trying to score some spice, man.
You bring up a good point, though. That wasn't like the old
Does he?
the sky the where the skeletons were or something like that. Somebody else has to live there by now, right?
Dude, why would
the Tatooine real estate agent had to pick that up?
How does she even know about it? Like, how does she even know about
That's
Tatooine?
true. Yeah.
And not only that, but the lightsabers. Dude, why don't we let the next generation of Jedis use them and train with them?
Because you have to build your own.
In the Jedi Museum, dude. Why does she keep the books? Why does she keep all the books, but not the lightsabers?
A Jedi museum would be
what's
pretty
to
tough.
say she's never going to use the lightsabers again? She put them somewhere safe so nobody else could find them.
I don't know. Grandma Camel Lady could have.
She saw that, yeah. She might take them and try to sell them to get some cash.
And I just didn't, and I mean, I
She's
would tell
casing
you
the joint.
that I
With
have-
her
She's
camel.
going to pawn them. You pawn the
twin-
old lightsabers and go
the
cash
Twin
in and get some
Sunset
space
gave me a
Smith.
tear, like it did in the last Jedi.
Yeah.
And that part when Luke dies and his cape flies away and it's the two sons. Yeah, I mean, dude, I almost got a tear right now thinking about that. But dude, that setup of Rey and Tatooine, that was all wrong, man. It should have been. No, dude.
You know what bothered me far more than that?
Far more than that?
Yeah.
Far more than that.
Yeah. Lay it on.
We're going to take down a spaceship with a bow and arrow.
Oh, dude.
Kiss my ass.
She's like Space Hawkeye.
Dude.
Did we need that? Well, I'm glad you mentioned Hawkeye, the one Avenger nobody needed.
I'm with you on that.
Seriously.
Right?
Well, he's very accurate, man.
If you got
why
something to
wasn't
say,
he on the
Ken,
back
feel
of a
free to
space
say.
horse, too?
We're going to shoot down a spacecraft with a bow and arrow. And I looked around the theater and I was like, nobody's going to say anything. You are all just going to take this in.
No, well, that happens late in the movie. By that point, you've seen so many other things that you're like, all right, like you can transfer items between people using
Which
the Force.
I liked.
So it's interesting.
In fact, I loved that.
Yeah. I didn't grasp until a couple of days ago on Twitter. Somebody put the clips back to back when Kylo Ren or Ben Solo, when he pulls the lightsaber from behind him and then he gives the shrug, which is kind of a fun comedic moment. That shrug is the exact same shrug Han Solo gives with the blaster from one of the earlier movies.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So it's supposed to tie those two together, but you know, if you don't know that, then it doesn't resonate.
I didn't even catch a shrug.
No, I didn't.
No, he didn't even notice it.
I also, of course,
I don't think you guys could see out of 5 cameras. I don't think you could see that Ken is like cross-armed and standing in the corner over here.
You can see him in my
Ken,
cam.
would you
He's
be
in the
more
back corner.
comfortable?
Okay.
No.
Standing behind me and
I understand. Your big takeaway from it, Joel, is you don't like the neighborhood she moved. That's your
Dude, why didn't she move to Yavin 4, dude? Dude, why didn't she?
Issue is the planet she went to.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, we're absolutely gonna have to like.
Ken, I'm glad you were able to grasp my concept. I'm glad that you can comprehend what I'm saying, Ken. I'm glad that didn't go over your head.
Nobody's concerned that gravity doesn't seem to exist in orbit of this planet
Oh,
where all
wait,
the
but Ken says
starfighters
they
would
were
have
in-
fallen to the ground.
Ken.
I argued about that.
Oh, we already argued.
Hold it.
Ken
Yeah, okay.
settled that.
Well, hold on, because we'll have
They
Ken
were
on.
in atmosphere, Joel.
You guys,
Wait, let me try to
Wait,
do my Ken.
what exists
They were in
in the atmosphere?
Joel.
So they would fall.
Dude.
What's holding them up?
That's true. I don't know how those giant star
the
fighters.
slant of the Star Destroyer, they would have fallen off the side of the slant of the
No,
Star
gravity
Destroyer,
doesn't
dude.
care about slant. Gravity sucks you in.
Dude, and space horses. Come on,
Yeah, the
man.
horse was too much.
The horse
riding
was
up
too much.
the
Did I
the
mention
Star
I do
Destroyers.
like this film? I should say I had fun. I did. I had fun at the
Right.
movie.
Why don't the Knights of Ren put a muffler on their spaceship?
The same reason that is
Why are they environmentally polluting space with the
they're the bad guys. They don't care about pollution.
Dude, and you know what? How about can we have some lines of dialogue from the Knights of Ren to
That
make
would've
them
been good.
menacing?
That's
you know
a
what?
strong silent type.
Dude, I'm gonna sign autographs at Comic-Con saying I was a Knight of Ren. Dude.
I've been saying that for years, that he could go and tell people you're Boba Fett, and no one would know.
Dude, I'm the third knight, the one with the thing on his face.
I will say I'm not overly concerned with polluting an infinite expanse of nothingness.
Dude, man, why didn't they just give it like a sound effect, like a Chevy Nova or something?
Are we really worried about a greenhouse effect in space?
In a galaxy far, far away. We're laughing, but like I'm not laughing at your points.
Okay.
I want to make
You're
sure
very
that
animated.
that is clear.
I've been waiting for this for all week. Man.
Okay. No, I want to make sure.
How did TIE fighters catch on fire?
That
Why
was
are
the
they
thing you asked
flammable?
me.
Why are? Huh?
That was the thing you asked me when we got out of the theater.
I did.
Is
It's
how
been bugging me since.
how does it they blow up? I'm sure there's wires
But
and
they're
electronics going on in that thing.
Dude.
It's funny, we're asking all these questions
Right.
about a movie that involves space samurai warriors. These
Not
are
only
samurai
that,
warriors
if-
with laser
if-
swords in space.
If Rey can float and lift millions of rocks and stuff, why is she? Oh my God! I almost fell off the Death Star wreckage. Like,
Why does she have to take a boat?
Why'd she need a boat?
Why'd she need
That's
a boat?
something-
Biggest thing.
Yeah, that's so what Steven told me after he'd seen it. Why does she have to take a boat across that water to the wreckage of the
Float.
Death Star?
It's a whole lot
It's
easier.
too far away.
Okay, speaking of spaceships, I got
And
one
wait,
more. All right.
because we're on this scene with the water.
Yeah.
The Death Star was like 8 times bigger in the preceding movie when they
Right.
shot it down. Now that it's a shell of itself on a planet, how did it get so small?
I think it's just a piece of wreckage. I don't think that was
It's
the
just a
entire
piece
Death
of
the
Star.
whole thing.
I think
Yeah,
that
it's
was
a
just
piece of the Death
wreckage
Star.
It was
that
way
fell
too
to that
small.
moon or whatever that they were.
All right, I'll buy that.
Yeah, I don't think that was the entire Death Star. That was just a piece of wreckage that they realized had that artifact in there that they Goonies. They took the scene
Yeah,
from the
with the-
Goonies
with the
and turned it into
the knife.
the locator.
All right, I know I'm older than a lot of you guys here, but did anybody notice that Poe's
I'll
ex-girlfriend
take
was
that
the
bet.
Rocketeer?
Yes, it was like.
Oh, that's true.
I'm not
Dude,
mad about that.
dude.
It was like the Rocketeer
It was like
and
she-
Daft
yeah.
Punk got together and they made a sexy woman.
Dude.
And I got a crush on that.
Dude,
that character
yeah,
now.
I'm
So
not
don't
bad, but
don't
yeah.
you drag her through the mud, Joel.
No, but, and
that
not only
Carrie
that, but
Russell or
speaking of the
whatever?
Rocketeer,
Yeah,
he
that's-
really should have been called the Jettateer because it wasn't a rocket.
And the fact that you only see her eyes, I'm like, I don't know
But
why.
yeah.
But
Yeah, that's
So-
fascinating that they got Carrie Russell, but then you never see her face. You just see her eyes.
Oh, is she a hot woman?
But she's
I don't
an
know.
attractive woman.
Yeah, she's
you know,
attractive.
but-
You know,
She used to do Noxzema commercials, so you got to be
really?
fairly good looking.
Okay.
They turned me down.
yeah. There we go. I'll go to a con and I'll say I was that character.
Yeah.
I'll say I was Babu Frick.
I got one more.
Hey!
What else?
If I haven't worn out my welcome on Nerd Radio.
I don't know. What else you got,
Okay.
Joel?
Yeah.
When Rey flew Luke's X-wing off of Planet Taco.
Okay.
I love Planet Taco.
All right, yeah, me too, man. It's a nice change of place from your Thai food place you've been going to.
Look at that callback.
All right. Okay. That X-Wing should only had 3 wings because Luke made a door for his hut out of one of the wings that Chewie knocked in the last. Dude.
Oh, I never thought of that.
Wow.
Dude.
Yeah.
So it should have been a, X-Wing -1, dude,
yeah.
taken off.
So you absolutely did not like this movie at all.
And dude, when Chewie died, I was mad. I wanted to cry. I wanted to, and I'll tell you what. The only thing that really the tear, when the twin sunsets, I had a little bit of a tear. When the lady with the big eyes, Maz Kamama,
Yeah.
when she gave Chewie the medal.
Yeah, that
And
was
it was
cool.
like, yeah, but here's the thing. Chewie supposedly didn't want a medal because that's the lore I heard, that his people don't need medals and accommodations. That's why he didn't get one at the ceremony in episode 4.
Huh.
And so I just, for a second, when I
Been
saw
30
the medal.
years. People change.
Yeah, all right, I'm
Might have
with
changed
that.
his mind.
Little
I'm
change.
with that. And when you're, as old as Chewbacca, who's supposed to be like 400 years old, I could see how that could happen. But
400 years, room for growth.
When I saw the medal, it was like, oh, the medal. And then I thought, well, wait, why does she have it? Why does it And so I wanted to like it more than I could.
Huh. Okay. So going forward with the Star Wars franchise, like they make another movie in like 2-3 years or something like that.
They will.
Are you still interested?
Have you not read the line that it's supposed to be about Yoda?
It's supposed to
when
be
he was at
middle-aged
the height
Yoda.
of?
Yeah.
The height of his
Yeah, I saw
Yoda-ness?
something about that this morning.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're at least 2 years out, so it could be anything at this point.
Middle-aged
Yeah, fair
Yoda
enough.
now.
Yeah, not barely legal Yoda, which is an episode of Nerd Radio that you can download wherever you get your podcasts.
And now when
However,
Yoda got his balls dropped.
Oh, Yoda.
Yeah.
all right, well, we're going to take another break here on Nerd Radio. We're going to switch up our guests here. Thanks, Steve and Joel.
Dude, you
for
didn't
being
even have to call security, man. I'm going.
No, you're not. You don't have to leave. You guys can stay. Like I said, we're going to switch up. We're going to see who wants to fight in the next episode or in the next segment of Nerd Radio. So stay tuned.
Oh, delightful.